Audrey Hepburn is remembered as the most elegant woman who ever lived on screen, gliding through breakfast at Tiffany's in pearls. What almost nobody realized was that before any of it, she was a child so close to starvation she survived a winter eating tulip bulbs to stay alive. She was born in Brussels in 1929. At 6, her father walked out on the family, and she rarely saw him again for decades. Her parents had been Nazi sympathizers, and when the German occupation began, Audrey hid her own identity under a different name. Her uncle was executed by the Nazis. Her brother was sent to a labor camp. Then came the hunger winter of 1944. Audrey grew anemic, jaundiced, and swollen with malnutrition, so thin she'd weigh the same decades later. At 15, German soldiers rounded her up for their kitchens, and she escaped only by slipping away when their backs were turned. Even then, she fought back. Trained as a ballet dancer, Audrey performed secret recitals to quietly raise money for the Dutch resistance. The war destroyed her one dream. Years of malnutrition left her body too frail for the ballet career she trained for. So she turned to acting and at 24 won an Oscar for Roman Holiday, later becoming one of the few people in history to win an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. But underneath the elegance, she was still that same undernourished child. She suffered multiple miscarriages trying to build a family. And though her father had abandoned her, she quietly supported him financially for the rest of his life anyway. Then in 1988, she became a goodwill ambassador for UNICEF and said the words that made her whole childhood make sense. "I can testify to what UNICEF means to children, because I was among those who received food and medical relief right after World War II. She spent her final years holding starving children in Ethiopia, Somalia, and Sudan. In 1992, already sick with cancer, she insisted on one more trip to Somalia. She died months later, in January 1993, at 63. The world remembers Audrey Hepburn as Hollywood's most elegant icon. What it should remember is a starving child who was saved by strangers once, and spent her final breath making sure other starving children were saved too. If you've ever turned your own suffering into something that helped someone else, tell me in the comments.